heard about yarn through a friend, and as someone who's always curious about ways that I can contribute to, I suppose, creating cultural harmony, it just really appealed to me.
I think yarn's important because it creates a space where you can sit and talk and meet people, and it doesn't feel intense. It actually feels like a welcoming space to have a conversation.
Yarn Australia is a really important event because there's a lot of people in Australia who want to know more about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander First Nations people and just have no idea how to go about it, and it offers that opportunity for both mob and non-Indigenous folk to have a conversation together.
I really respect what Warren's trying to do with Yarn Australia and what he actually is doing with Yarn Australia.
I really resonate with all that he does in his life, and yarn being a huge part of it. It feels, as a friend and as someone who believes in justice and truth in this country, it feels like a pretty important thing to support.
In my opinion, these conversations need to happen, not only within our own Indigenous mobs and nations and language groups and clans and tribes and kinship groups within this country and all nations, but those groups need to talk to non-Indigenous people, and non-Indigenous people need to meet halfway and have those conversations.
I feel ignorant in how much I know about Indigenous culture.
I'm all for talking, and talking even when sometimes the conversation is awkward and hard to have.
I guess I'd recommend anyone who has open ears or an open mind, who is going to respect the space, to come along.
I think obviously we're in a time where we have great opportunity to heal cultural tension and to create cultural harmony, and it does require spaces such as yarn that allow us to sit in the tension and to sit in possible conflict and to bear witness to that, and then to slowly find our ways through it together.
The more that you try to listen into someone's story, the more you open yourself up to their way of seeing the world. And that always relates back to how you listen. So yarn helped me listen at a deeper level.
I guess just acknowledge that there is people out there that are respectful and want to learn about Indigenous culture and practices and our shared history, as well as our history before colonisation and first contact.
For young mob, like young Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people, we don't even get the chance to have these conversations that much with each other. Like, you know, we're just going about our daily lives. We're existing, we're surviving, we're doing what it takes.
Letting myself be vulnerable enough to have conversations in a space around non-Indigenous, non-First Nations people that I would not necessarily share that knowledge and culture and talk and yarn around. So that was a bit of a challenge, but once doing that, it was self-healing for me. I went away really feeling great. Yes, that night I was very emotionally and physically drained, but I think for me and myself that was very needed, but also the people in the crowd got something out of that.